And we're about ready to go for the second heat here of 3. Once again, the top 2 will move through. Second 2 go to the petite final. Such crews here as Notre Dame, University of California, Davis, Sacramento State, UCLA. Bates College out of Lewiston, Maine is here for the first time. And the University of California, Santa Barbara, along with Loyola Marymount University, will go down and check with the start here shortly.
University of Notre Dame, lane 2, UC Davis, lane 3, Sacramento State, lane 4, UCLA, lane 5, Bates College, lane 6, UC Santa Barbara, and in lane 7, Loyola Marymount. The aligner's flag is up. The starter is now polling the crews. Beautiful conditions down here at the starting line, absolutely flat water. Flag is up, and we have a start. Event number 2, men's collegiate 8, varsity 8, all boats away cleanly. Once again, they start off in a furious pace, stroke rates up in the 40s, 46 strokes per minute. After 15 strokes, then the crews will shift down, develop the rhythm, and push that bow away from the puddles. As the crews make the shift, it's the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame in lane 1 on the lead, followed by UC Davis, lane 2, and then Sacramento State, the Hornets in lane 3. Lane 5, the Bates College Bobcats in that 4th position. And lane 7, Loyola Marymount is putting on a charge for that spot. So we come to the 500-meter mark. Your leader, lane 1, University of Notre Dame. Second spot, UC Davis. Third, Sacramento State. Fourth, UCLA. Fifth, Bates College. Sixth, UC Santa Barbara, closely followed by Loyola Marymount.
On the water and underway is the men's collegiate varsity B. This is the second of 3 heats. 2 of these crews will be moving forward to the grand final. And the lane assignments are pretty much the way they have come off the starting post. In lane number 1, the University of Notre Dame. In second spot, and also in lane 2, University of California, Davis. It is Sacramento State in lane number 3, UCLA in lane 4, Bates College out of Lewiston, Maine is in lane 5, University of California, Santa Barbara in lane 6, and lane 7, Loyola Marymount University out of the Los Angeles area.
Notre Dame have had one competitive hit out this year. They've beaten Purdue. Purdue, of course, competed, were right in at the mix in the previous heat. UC Davis have beaten Santa Clara but lost to Stanford. Sacramento State have had an unbeaten season so far. They're in lane 3 at the moment. They've beaten Sonoma State, Cal Lightweights, Santa Clara, Humboldt State, Cal Maritime, and Pacific. UCLA in lane 4, they're also an unbeaten season so far. They've beaten Orange Coast, University of San Diego, Loyola Marymount, UC Irvine, and UC Santa Barbara. Bates from Maine, obviously, this is their first hit out of the season, coming as they do from a northerly state. So we have no form on them yet so far this year. In lane number 6, UC Santa Barbara, they've beaten Long Beach State, but lost to UC Los Angeles, UCLA, and they've lost to UC Irvine twice. And out in lane 7, Loyola Marymount have had one competitive fixture so far this year, and they lost to UCLA. The progression from this heat will be first two to the grand final and the next two to the petite final.
On the shoreline, clinging to a slight lead, continues to be Notre Dame. They are being challenged in the middle of the pack by Sacramento State. Then UC Davis. Out in lane number 4, UCLA beginning to make a bit of a move. And trailing are Bates, University of California, Santa Barbara, and Loyola Marymount University.
Crew in lane 1, that's Notre Dame. It looked like they are controlling the race from the inside lane, but as in the last race, the scrap for second place looks like it's going to be very intense between Sacramento State and UCLA in lanes 3 and 4.
UCLA beginning to move up a bit on Sacramento State. The Bruins in the middle of our pack in the powder blue, still chasing Notre Dame. But the big concern for the crews here is qualifying for that grand final, which means that they have to finish 1 or 2. So draw your attention to the University of California. Check that Sacramento State in lane 3 and UCLA out in lane 4. Trailing Davis outside Bates, Santa Barbara, and Loyola Marymount. This is Notre Dame along the shoreline. Looks like UCLA has begun to exert some pressure and beginning to pull away from Sacramento State. The Hornets beginning to fight back in the middle of our pack. Sac State in white, UCLA in blue on the outside, and continuing along the shoreline, this is Notre Dame. On the outside for arguing rights, Bates is holding off Santa Barbara. Loyola Marymount is trying to hang in there against UC Davis. This is Notre Dame along the shoreline. Sacramento State in the white trying to get past UCLA. UCLA continues in that all-important second spot, but here comes Sacramento State on the shoreline. It is Notre Dame. Notre Dame along the shoreline. Looks like they have it wrapped up. Sacramento State putting on a furious challenge to UCLA. Sac State near side in the white, UCLA outside in the powder blue. It looks like it'll be UCLA qualifying in that second spot. A furious challenge at the last by Sacramento State. Fails to pick it up. On the 4th spot, Bates outside to Santa Barbara, then inside to Davis. And then on the far outside, Loyola Marymount University out of Los Angeles. Once again, at the finish line, our unofficial winner was the University of Notre Dame, followed by UCLA, then Sacramento State. Pretty close to call between Bates, Santa Barbara, and then trailing were Davis and Loyola Marymount. Our crews are beginning to line up at the stake boat for event number 3 on today's race program. This will be the men's collegiate varsity C. This is the third of 3 heats, and we've already had qualifiers. Second